The model this month didn't have the massive adjustments we've seen in prior months, basically taking away job growth in the past that was reported to be there, but come as we come back and reassess, the BLS says those jobs were actually not created. This month wasn't quite that; it was more of just a front end miss for the first print. And I think the key takeaway, I've highlighted the box in yellow, but basically every sector except for three, and the two core contributors we'll talk about in a second. But basically every sector is now in job contraction. You saw actual, like, what's the opposite of job growth? Like job losses coming from every sector that wasn't the bright green, which is education and health services, and then purple, which is leisure and hospitality, and then the yellow here is actually up here, corresponding to 12, it's other services. So just the light services industry, could be professional, could be anything. The other services, if you go back in time, it's not that big of a contributor in terms of overall jobs growth. If you look back on the trailing years, you see this, the green box, the education and health services is the core driver of job growth in the U.S. economy. And after that, it's leisure and hospitality, which is everything from hotels, travel, restaurants, et cetera. So that's what this report is basically showing. The core strength of the U.S. economy, the job growth, it is coming from those basic sectors. Health services, obviously, with the demographic situation in the U.S., what we all know it is with the boomer population impulse starting in the 1950s, 60s, working its way through. Now those people are aging in retirement. On the very oldest, they may be requiring more health care, nursing homes, assisted living facilities. That's one key driver of job growth. And then on the other side, it's education, front end, preschool, middle school, high school, secondary education, all of the above. But that's basically where the jobs live in the US. And then you throw in the hospitality, restaurant industry. That's what's keeping job growth afloat. If you're net new looking for a job, this is kind of where the entry level starts. But the key thing I think in this report is the slowing trend. If you just extrapolate this, if you were running a trend line, it's very clearly down and to the right, which kind of jibes with, we'll talk about the business cycle playing out and how this corresponds into asset prices in a second, as the kind of the back half of this segment will work to do some education and explain what's going on in bond markets as they incorporate this read on that the economic data is providing on the U.S. economy. And then prior to Friday's release of the August non-farm payrolls number, earlier in the week, Tuesday, after everybody got back from Labor Day vacation, we got the JOLTS job openings data that the Bureau of Labor Statistics also produces, which is kind of a brother sister of this non-farm payrolls report. What the non-farm payrolls report shows is new job creation. What the JOLTS number shows is job capacity in the U.S. economy by the businesses and government sector of the economy who use labor as an input resource. So what this number shows, it's kind of the if you think about a stock and a flow, right? This is a stock. It's basically measuring demand for labor, right? How many jobs are there out there that businesses and government are looking to hire for, versus the payrolls report, the monthly NFP print. That's telling you the flow. It's rate of change on jobs added or lost against that stock of job openings by the private sector and government. that they're looking to fill. And what this number showed again for JOLTS is kind of lining up. And I'll explain how this is a good read on the cycle. I'll pull a textbook out of the mothballs that I think does a good job at establishing this framework. But what the JOLTS number showed was 7.18, roughly, about 7.2 million jobs, outstanding vacancies that exist in basically U.S. employer and government demand. And that was a miss from the survey, which expected about 7.38 or 7.4 million. So what this shows is basically a slowing of jobs, unfilled vacancies. Like there's less demand for labor as an input for businesses.